welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am Kathy and I do food and product reviews. And on my last video, I asked which product you would like me to review next, and it was between the Floor Please, it's a motorized spinning mop, or the Arctic Air. And the Floor Please won, not by much, just a little bit. And I do plan on reviewing this one. It kind of worked out because it really hasn't warmed up that much here, and so I was waiting for the weather to get a little better so I could review this and see how well it really works in hot temperatures. Okay. So the Floor Please is a motorized spinning mop. So if you hate mopping, this might be the product for you. It's effortless. It has spinning heads, so it kind of propels itself, so you don't have to put a lot of effort into it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have done this review twice, but before I tell you why, let's take a look at what's in the box. Okay, here's what comes in the box. You have the mop base. If you flip it over, this is the dual Velcro spinning heads. This is where you attach the pads. Here is where the lithium-ion battery is, and right there is where you charge it. The light will come on. It's red when it's charging. All right. Got a little instruction manual. Here's the handle. That's basically the only thing you have to put together is the handle. Here's the AC adapter for charging. And then we have the 3 different types of pads. Here we have the microfiber pads that loosens, lifts, and locks in dirt. You have the polishing pads, spin sparkle back to any surface instantly. And then the scouring pads remove the stickiest and toughest messes. All right, let's get it put together. Okay, very simple to put together. A goes into A. B, B. And then this screws into the base. Just like that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use the microfiber pads first. These I think are the ones that you would use the most. So I'm going to put those on here. Oh, didn't mean to do that, but yeah, so that's so right here is the on switch. Okay, so about these microfiber pads that are looking a little rough, so that's what happens after 2 washes. Let me show you what the microfiber pads look like right out of the box. Okay, so you can see part of the issue I had was with the pads, was with the microfiber pads, and they didn't wash well. So after I washed them and I saw that, I'm like, is this still gonna loosen the dirt and trap in all the grime? So I was like, I really need to try this again. So in the first review that I did of it, before I washed the microfiber pads, I kind of wanted to do things they did in the commercial. And I know sometimes they can be extreme in the commercial, so I wanted to see. So I tried some flour. I put some flour on the floor, dirt, and jelly. Jelly was one of them. And in the infomercial, it says you can go from one thing to the other. You don't have to wash it in between because the microfiber pads, trap in all the dirt, so you don't have to worry about, I wouldn't have to worry about the flour, when I moved to the dirt, that it would spread all over the dirt. So let's take a look on how that went. It's to spray the bottom of the pads with water or whatever kind of cleaner you like, or disinfectant spray. I'm just going to try water right now. flour, it did okay. There was still a lot of little green pieces from the microfiber pad, which I think that would, you know, once you wash it, it kind of takes care of that. The dirt, it did pretty well, I thought. And then the jelly, at first I thought it did well, but as you can see here, the stickiness. Not so much. So yeah, so like you might think that with the jelly, it just kind of smeared it around. Some did get trapped in the microfiber pad, but as sticky as the floor was, it just spread it around. I know the commercials can be kind of extreme, but I kind of wanted to show that because that's what drives me crazy about those commercials, that they go to extreme instead of just using it for what you would normally use it for. Because with the jelly, I wouldn't have used a mop for that. I would have got a paper towel and cleaned it up. But I guess if you have limited mobility, this might be easier than bending over to clean that up. So I could see that that could come in handy, but you would have to do it a few times and use a couple different pads to really get it clean and not sticky. So I can see where it would have its use, but I think in the commercial that was exaggerated and it doesn't really work as well as they claim. So I washed the pad and you could see, you know, how it looked after 2 washes. Not good. Like I said, you know, the mop itself says it will last up to 500 charges. I don't see those pads lasting 500 washes, to be honest. So anyway, so I wanted to see even after 2 washes, when there's look like there's kind of coming apart a little bit, if it would still work. So the next test I did, saying I used my wood floor again, was the flour again, Polynesian sauce, Chick-fil-A Polynesian sauce, because that gets really sticky. But I let it dry overnight. Just a quick side note, if you're unaware, Chick-fil-A now sells the Polynesian sauce and the Chick-fil-A sauce at grocery stores. I've seen it at Kroger, Publix, and Walmart. So if you love Chick-fil-A sauce, that's where you can get it. So I did the Polynesian sauce, and next to that I did mustard. So let's see how that went. I'm just going to use water. So I'll spray it down with water. Okay, so the flour, it did work. Let's look at the pad. You can see a little bit over here. But I guess it's trapped in. Hopefully it won't smear all over the rest of the floor. So once again, the microfiber pad, it did work. It did get some of it up, but it took a little longer than if you were just to use like a Swiffer and use some elbow grease, to be honest. I did want to mention that as far as the sound goes, it is kind of loud. I did turn the sound down when I was showing. Well, some of it I, cut out altogether, but you could hear it a little bit. I'll just turn it on now, regular sound, so you can hear it. So I wouldn't say it's as loud as a vacuum cleaner, but if someone was sleeping, you would probably wake them up. The next thing I want to try was the scouring pads. In the commercials, they have used it in the shower. They've sprayed on the cleaner and then used the scouring pads with it. But then it says not to get, you don't want the unit to get too wet, so I would be scared. I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable doing it in the shower, but I did it on the floor on tile in my bathroom, so let's see how that went. So I'm going to change out the microfiber pads to the scrubbing pads or scouring pads, whatever you want to call them. And these have been washed too. You can see it got some of the green from the microfiber pad. Right. So I'm going to scrub the tile in the bathroom. Someone has been coloring on the floor, so I got to see if I can get that up that was on the infomercial. So let's see. Just gonna use water. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, so it's been 8 minutes and I don't know, can you still see there's still some that took a while. I think a magic eraser would work better. Okay, let's see. So here's the magic eraser. I got a little wet. I think a little grease is what's needed. So that got it up. The floor police would have got it, but it just would have taken, I would have taken another 8 to 10 minutes, but magic eraser works. So it was like 8 minutes and it still wasn't up. I probably could have waited another 8 minutes and it probably would have come up. I use that as an example because that's what they did in the commercial, but theirs was on glass. So I think that may have made a difference where I had the tile has a little more texture to it. So that was probably part of the issue. I think the scouring pads work okay, just not great. And then I had the polishing pads, and I tried to do my sliding door. I'm sorry, but it was bright and it was hard to see any of the dirt on it. You know, the windows actually look clean, even though they weren't. It did something. You can see the dirt. Yeah. So it did something, but clearly not the best way to clean a window. Holding it at that angle and moving it around, that is a little difficult. It did get it somewhat. It wasn't great. It got some of the dirt, but I would do it better by hand. Even though I'm terrible at cleaning windows, I think I could still do a better job than that did. I wouldn't use the mop as I would use it. I know on these, like I said, these commercials get all crazy with stuff, but ideally that's probably not how you're going to use it in these extreme situations. You're just going to use it to clean your floor. So that's what I did here. It usually takes me, 15 minutes or so. This took me closer to 25, 30 minutes to do all of it. So it took a while. It's like, you gotta push this along. And like I said, you can kind of move it a little quicker, but I think that's harder on the motor, so that's probably not recommended. I get it, it's scrubbing the floor to clean it, but for me, I guess I just move a little faster. And I may still use it like in my kitchen area where it's not so big, so it may take me 6 or 7 minutes. So then I'd probably use it. But if you have a large area, just know it's going to take you a while. So here, I want to see how well it cleaned the floor. So let's take a look at that. It's just a wet paper towel. A little bit of dirt. You see it right there. So as you can see, it did a pretty good job cleaning the floor. It was maybe a little bit of dirt, but I'll be honest, these floors are really hard to clean. It's just a high traffic area and most people don't take their shoes off. So I was impressed with how well it did clean. So I think for me, the biggest cons are that it's slow, that it takes a while, and the microfiber pads, how they washed. I'm not impressed by that at all. I do like the fact that it's lightweight, it's kind of propels itself, that it's cordless and rechargeable, and that the pads are washable. even though I'm not sure how long they'll last. And a note about that, don't use fabric softener when you wash those. If you're someone that has issues with mopping, like pushing a mop, this could come in handy for you. But for me right now, it's probably not worth it. The price is $39.88, and I guess comparable to other motorized mops out there that I've seen on Amazon, they're more expensive. Like I've seen some for $75, some for $150. So for the price, I guess it's not bad if it really lasts. I guess that's the question. If the pads will hold up and if it really will charge 500 times. It did come fully charged, and it says the charge will last for 90 minutes, and that was pretty much right on, because when I first got it, I just turned it on and ran the battery down, and it was about 90 minutes, and it took a little over 90 minutes to recharge it. Something changes where the pads, get worse with each wash, or it dies. I'll post it on social media, so if you don't follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you can go over and follow me there, and I'll give updates if something happens. Who knows? It could last forever. I don't know. The pads, maybe it was just the initial 2 washes, and after that it'll be great. I don't know. Time will only tell, I guess. Okay, sorry this video was a little different, but I just want to show you my results before and after the wash. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to someone. So if you have used the floor, please let me know what you think of it in the comments below, or if you have used another motorized spinning mop, let me know what you think of it. All right, so that brings me to the joke of the day. Once again, Ken came through for me, sending me these jokes. What is the leading cause of dry skin? Let me know your guess in the comments below, and I will post the answer on social media. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye.